It's here, the cave update with a side of cliffs. That's right, the Caves and Cliffs update. Part 1 is launched as of 8th June 2021. Yo, what's up everyone? Minecraft 1.17 is finally out and it's an absolute game changer. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the addition of entities such as blocks and role generations. I would also talk about all of the other added items into the game, but that would make the video too long. So instead, I'm going to split this into 3 videos. In this video, I talk about new changes to existing ores and new blocks that have been added to the game. Now even though this update is a Caves and Cliffs update, the Caves and Cliffs aren't there yet. Why? Mojang announced that this update will be released in 2 parts, the first part being released mid-summer and the second part by the end of 2021, which will be the Caves and Cliffs update itself. So until then, you're just gonna have to bear with it. Alright, let's talk about the new blocks that have been added to the game. There will be a link in the description to the official site where you can read about this further, but just for this video, I'm gonna be keeping it brief. Amethyst. This is a purple block in the game that can be found inside of cave systems. This can come in 5 different categories: Amethyst block, Amethyst clusters, Amethyst geodes, and Amethyst shards, and budding amethyst. Amethyst comes in block form inside the geodes in 2 ways: block of amethyst and budding amethyst. When an amethyst block are placed, it makes a really nice sound, which would honestly be kept at the top of my Spotify playlist. The sound is produced when the block is placed, broken, and when hit with a projectile. Amethyst clusters are grown from budding amethyst, which is found inside of amethyst geodes. Clusters consist of 4 stages: small amethyst bud, medium amethyst bud, large amethyst bud, and amethyst cluster. Fully grown amethyst clusters drop 4 amethyst shards, but more with a fortune pickaxe, and it drops 2 amethyst shards. Clusters can be mined with a silk touch pickaxe at any age. Amethyst geodes are huge and can be found anywhere underground in the overworld. They also have an outer layer of a new stone called smooth basalt and a second layer which is called calcite. Amethyst shards. Amethyst clusters draw 2 amethyst shards when broken by hand, piston, or other means. Amethyst clusters drop 4 amethyst shards when mined with a pickaxe. You can get more with a fortune pickaxe. Budding amethyst on any side of a budding amethyst block where there is air or water source block. A small amethyst bud will eventually grow bigger. Number 2. Copper. Copper is split into 2 categories: the copper blocks and copper ore, which is the origin of the entire substance itself. You can craft 9 copper ingots into a copper block, and you can use the copper block to craft cut copper block, cut copper stairs, and cut copper slabs. These can be crafted via a stone cutter instead of the crafting table. You can use a honeycomb to craft waxed copper blocks. To do this, just right click the copper block with a honeycomb, and this will act as sacrificial protection against oxidation. Oh yeah, copper oxidizes in Minecraft just like in real life, which turns into an eventual green color over time. You can even use a dispenser to coat the copper block with a honeycomb, but I feel like right clicking it would be much easier. Copper ore can be found at the same levels as coal and iron, but according to Mojang, this is just temporary, which means it's going to be changed in the next update. Also, there are 4 stages to oxidizing copper: exposed copper, weathered copper, and oxidized copper. According to the update logs, it would take 50 to 82 Minecraft days for copper to pass 1 stage. Light and striking on a copper block can reverse its oxidation. Number 3. Deepslate. This is also split into 2 categories: Deepslate and Deepslate ore. Deepslate is found in deeper parts underground and slightly tougher to mine than stone when mined. When mined, it drops cobbled deepslate, which is exactly what you get when you break stone, except it's cobblestone. You can obtain deepslate itself by using a silk touch pickaxe, just like stone. It can still be used to craft basic tools, furnaces, and brewing stands. Here's a list on what you can make using cobbled deepslate and deepslate itself. Deepslate ore. When an ore is generated in the same place as deepslate variants of that ore are now generated instead of this normal stone ores. This is twice as tough to mine as the normal ones as well. This means that if an iron ore is generated near deepslate, a deepslate version of that ore is produced, and it'll be tougher to mine than the usual iron ore. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the 2 different types of blocks in the game. Number 4. Dripstone Block. It's a decorative block that can be crafted with 4-pointed dripstone, and according to the memes, it can be used as a murder weapon to kill your friend who stole all your netherite from you. Pointed dripstone forms a stalactite if placed on the ceiling, or stalagmite if placed on the floor. It can be combined to form longer stalactites and stalagmites. Stalactites and stalagmites merge if the tips are next to each other, unless you press shift while placing. Stalagmites will break if they're not attached to something below. Landing or jumping on stalagmite hurts. They're sharp. Stalactites fall down if not attached to something above. Being hit by a falling stalactite hurts. They're sharp, obviously. Stalactites drip water or lava if there is lava above the ceiling. A stalactite with a water source above the ceiling will gradually fill a cauldron below with water. A stalactite with a lava source above the ceiling will fill a cauldron below with lava after a while. Throwing tridents break pointed dripstone. Alright, Let's talk about the growth of the block. If a stalactite is hanging from a dripstone block with a water source above it, it will slowly grow both the stalactite from above and the stalagmite from below. The growth speed is random but very slow. A single growth step can take several Minecraft days. A stalactite will only grow up to 7 blocks long. A stalactite will only cause stalagmite growth if the floor or stalagmite below is within 10 blocks. A stalactite tip is if the stalactite tip is inside water, it won't drip and therefore won't trigger any growth. If the stalagmite tip is inside water, it won't receive drops and therefore won't be grown by a dripping stalactite. Same thing if there is any fluid between the two tips. A stalagmite or stalactite will never grow into a fluid. Number 5. Smeltable ore drop. Ores that are smeltable now drop raw item forms of the ore instead of the ore block. This can be smelted just like before. This is to prevent cluttering the inventory and have consistency with fortune on the ores. Just like other ore materials, you can craft a compact version with raw ore items in order to save inventory space. Tinted glass. Now, you may be thinking, bruh, this is already in the game, what are you on about? Well, this tinted glass is different from the other types of tinted glass. Tinted glass is a type of glass that does not allow light to pass through. This can be crafted by placing a glass block in the middle of the 4 amethyst shards. Tinted glass can be obtained with a silk touch pickaxe and it does not shatter like normal glass. 7. Tuff. A new type of stone that can be found in blobs between Y0 and Y16. Number 7. Infested blocks. Infested blocks are no longer instantly destroyed and instead have a half the destroy time of their non-infested counterpart. Lightning rod. A lightning rod is crafted from 3 copper ingots. Keep your builds safe, well, as long as the closest area around the lightning rod is fireproof during thunderstorms. The lightning rod will produce an area of 8 by 16 blocks around it from the sometimes devastating lightning strikes. Lightning rods give off a redstone signal when struck by lightning. Alright, so here's a bit of oxidation explained right from the website I'm reading out right now. Oxidation. Copper will oxidize over time. There are 4 stages: copper, exposed copper, weathered copper, and oxidized copper. It takes 50 to 82 Minecraft days and loaded chunks for a copper block to oxidize one stage. Waxed copper blocks will not oxidize. You can wax any oxidized stage. How lovely. That means you can keep that pretty weathered copper block in its weathered stage forever. I don't think that's pretty lovely, Mojang. That's kind of disgusting if you ask me. A lightning strike hitting copper will clean its oxidation. Waxed copper blocks can be crafted into 9 copper ingots. Axes can scrape off wax and oxidation from copper blocks. And that'll be it for this video. If you guys found this video to be useful at any point, consider subscribing and leaving a like. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about new mobs and cave generations, and by this I mean the new cave structures such as drip leaves and azalea bushes. And as for the mobs, I'm going to be talking about the axolotls and goats and all the other new mobs in the game. Make sure you're subscribed to get notified when I upload on the next video so that you don't miss it, and share it with your friends as well if you want to. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and until then, peace out.